Hello, everyone. Yay. Kristen here with Marcela, and we are here to talk about up-leveling your EA. And Marcela is going to walk us through some frequently asked questions about our EA training program that she runs. We're going to cover all kinds of great stuff, so stay tuned and be sure and give us a thumbs up down below if you either have an EA or want an EA. I want the wants to have like triple, like 3 emojis on there, because this is your time, owners. This is the game changer, I'm telling you. So Marcela, we're going to take them through. I'm going to ask a bunch of questions to you and let you explain what's the EA training program, how long does it take, how long should the owner expect to spend on some of this stuff, what's their role, and just let's kind of dive in and give them a little inside peek on what goes on, because I see the gold that comes out of this program every quarter. So I want to share with everybody all the great stuff you guys cover. So let's do it.
Okay, so the first question that every owner has and every executive assistant that I have met with before enrolling is what's inside the course. So it's a 4-week intensive course, the first month. And we go over understanding the role. To us, up-leveling your business, this is like the big rock that's going to form the base of the training, because we know the executives and business owners are so overwhelmed with all the tasks that they do. So we want their EAs to know this, like these are all the hats that this person's wearing. If they're wearing 20, you're probably going to end up wearing 10, but it's okay, because we're going to give you all the tools to help you manage all these 10 new hats that you're going to wear. So that's like the big rock. And then we go over with another, as we like to call it, time vampire for business owners, is their email, right? Like it's conquering that email chaos, is from creating rules to creating folders to creating a system on how to actually manage or triaging that email. And then we go over the calendar. The calendar, it's a big overwhelm as well for business owners, because they feel like they live for their calendar and it's not actually planned. So we teach them to help them identify their big rocks, as we like to call it. Like, what are your big rocks? What are the small rocks that we can move? And they need to understand the business owner's calendar, but they also have to manage their own executive assistant's time. So we also help them to build out their perfect week or ideal week. One thing that we say all the time is we want you to be more proactive and less reactive. And by you being that way, your business owner or your executive is going to be more proactive and less reactive. So everything that's on their calendar is more intentional and no like an effect of a not well-planned strategy.
Marcela, I just want to stop there and talk about one of the things that I was typing in is I love that you give them so many real life scenarios. And these, I mean, you guys are meeting twice a week. You're at Mondays and Wednesdays with the EAs. You're helping guide them through and you're answering real-time questions. You're giving them examples. You're giving them templates and emails and things that they can really hit the ground running. What's been one of your most favorite real life scenarios that you've had to like help somebody through in the last 9 months or so?
Well, for starters, I use a lot of examples of my life as an EA. So that's something that they really love, because they can identify with some of my previous struggles. So another thing that I have helped them with in real time is I had this executive assistant that she needed our help to build some templates for how she would be responding to some of the emails that her business owner was receiving. So one thing that we said during the course is, if you're sending an email, the same email more than 3 times, then that can become a template. So she emailed me and like she sent me her first draft and I helped her with the final draft and it was approved. So that became a template that then we taught her how to save it as an email signature so that she could use it the way that I learned from the best, Kristen.
So I just put that down there in case anybody doesn't know this by now. Marcela was my EA for quite some time, and then the marketing team stole her away from me, and she worked in the marketing department for a while, and then she has worked her way up through my business and now runs an entire department herself and does just an amazing job. But Marcela is, I mean, real world examples, knowing how to like what kind of templates, what works, what doesn't work. And I've got to tell you, Marcella, the other thing is you're tech savvy. And so you're often able to help the EAs with like how to automate things, how to set up templates, how to get things moving fast with the programs they're using. And I love that you are able to like jump in and help them in real time. That's just so awesome.
Yes, I love tech. And I think one thing that I love all the topics about the course because we came up with them. But my favorite lesson is about writing SOPs because I'm so like system oriented and I think of like what's the input and what's gonna happen next. So that's another lesson that we teach is an intro on how to write the SOPs, because remember, at the end of the day, we want them to have their own manual. Mm-hmm. So when they enroll to Uplevel Your EA training, they have access to the how to hire, work, and onboard your executive assistant. And that comes with a manual. But every time I meet with the business owner, I tell them, so just imagine this manual is written by you. So you have like the expectations there and an idea of how you want things to work. But your executive assistant is going to own this and she's going to customize this by how she's doing things. So this lesson on writing SOPs is going to help them to update that manual.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, and listen, I mean, this is part of when we can empower. It's not just, I mean, I know you teach email management. I know you teach calendaring, but I mean, it's really like empowering the EA to not just delegate and do one task, like to really take control and take ownership of some of these projects. It's something we're going to be talking about at the project management workshop later this month. But I mean, I just love that you really spend so much time with the EAs, really helping build their confidence, but helping them really see themselves as the owner of these projects, not just a doer.
One thing, Kristen, we give a lot of checklists, policies and procedures, templates. They have access to the videos as well. So we shower them with all these resources that they can use. And one thing that I have learned in the past is that some of our checklists can be used for the marketing assistant as well if she wants to have an email management system. So it can be used for the whole company.
Yeah. Well, and that's speaking of checklists and speaking of materials and what you guys cover, I mean, you guys, besides email and calendaring and time management and such, you guys really get into, especially in month 2 and 3, there's not as many hours, but you keep going with, giving them advanced email triaging and more email templates and more, checklists and more things that, I mean, I know that there's just so much that, like you said, it's not even, so the EA gets a flavor of what they can do to be helpful in other areas, like even some marketing and such.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about the difference. Well, first, share with everybody, what do people say at the end of month 1?
Oh my God, they love it so much. I had this executive assistant that she was excited about all the training that she received during first month. And then she came to all my office hours on month 2 and month 3. And I said at the last session, she was like, I'm so bummed that I'm not going to be meeting with you. So I'm going to talk to my business owner and tell them if I can get more training with you.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to miss you so much. So we have feedback from executive assistants saying, wow, now I know exactly what I need to do. And now I feel more confident.
Yeah.
Another thing that they have said is, thank you for putting the framework on how the communication between my executive and me can go. Because for the first week, we give them an agenda template of what should go on the meetings with the executive. Then we've had feedback from the business owners saying, wow, my executive assistant's like a magician right now. Or, wow, my executive assistant is so organized. It's helping me being more organized. Thank you for this training. So yeah, we've had great feedback from both business owners and executive assistants. But one thing, Kristen, that I want to emphasize is that executives can come to the training, but they are not expected to. I mean, I've had business owners in the groups before, but what I want them to know is that we need them to have communication with the executive as well, because we give them all the tools, but we will need them to communicate better or to set the expectations to their roles.
My favorite words. Who shall do what by when?
Yes.
So yes, owners, you are an active participant, because as much as we're going to train them up, you've got to take the time to say, this is the project. Here's why it matters. Here's what I want to accomplish. And you might not know all the details of like how to put it together. They can come work with Marcela on that, but you've got to give clear enough guidelines of like, what is it you're trying to accomplish? Your EA is not a mind reader. They need you to give them some clear instructions of what it is you want out of this project. So you do have a role in here, owners. You do have a role.
Correct. So another question that we get is, how much time is my EA is going to need? So for the first 4 weeks, we meet 1 hour, 2 times a week. And I would expect them to have another 30 minutes for homework. So it'd be like 2.5 hours for the first week. And homeworks are usually interview your executive, find out the org chart of your company, not because I want to know the org chart, but because they need to understand the hats that the business owner is wearing. Another homework is create some 3 email rules as like for training. Another homework is create email templates based on the information that we have gathered here. So the homework is very simple, because we want them to learn, implement, ask questions.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's the thing, everyone. I mean, you all have assistants that are in different levels and stages. I mean, some of you are just hiring. We've got a couple people just hired, brand new people that have never worked for them before. Others, we have people that are they've had an assistant for 3-4 months, but they just feel like the person's not really in their full stride, and so they signed them up. So that's another great type of EA or assistant to send over, is somebody who's just needs a little bit of help to really fully up level and get to be that superstar. So, talk to us. You have access to talking to Marcela. Let Marcela know your concerns, what you guys are working on, what you're trying to accomplish, so that she can support in that journey. And so for one assistant, on certain weeks, maybe they know your email and they know your file organization. And so that's a lighter week of homework. for other individuals that as the assistant needs to build and create some structure there for you both. So everyone's going to have a little bit of a different curve on how much time each week takes. With that said, I mean, our goal is to help train them up and really support you. So yes, they're going to need to spend a couple hours every week doing some homework, getting on the calls, really leaning in, and we're going to help train them up for you. That's the beautiful part.
Yes. Yes, you're gonna love this, really.
Yes.
I'm biased because I helped create this amazing course. But I think as an EA, it's the training that I wish I had.
Yeah. Yeah. And listen, I mean, I've had EAs from, I mean, I've worked with Get Staffed Up for 5 years now and have had plenty of marketing assistants, EAs, different humans. There's, I've worked with assistants that are US based that have worked in law firms before. I've had assistants that have never worked in a law firm, have never worked in a virtual company. And so everyone has, different levels and base to start off with. I love the fact that, Get Staffed Up and, Brett and Enrique over there and their amazing team do so much to kind of try to help vet and find good people. Joey Vitale does such a great job trying to help vet and find great people. And there's so many different opportunities, but owners, you've got to sit down and say, here are some of our priorities. Here's the job description. We make that easy because we give you a job description to edit, but you do have an element there, but you can jump on with Marcela. You can talk to her, and we're here to really support all our great owners so that they can really get some of this stuff off their plate. So Marcela, I wanted to ask you, okay, so month 1 is intensive. It's 4 weeks, twice a week. They're getting on phone calls with you. Month 2 and 3 goes down to once a week phone calls, but they're still getting advanced support. So what can an owner expect to get in return? What should they start seeing after the end of month 1, month 2?
At the end of month 1, I would expect them to have a clear communication of, this is exactly what I want. This is how you're going to do it. And these are the tools that me, the executive assistant, this is what I'm going to need. And this is what I'm already created for this. So at the end of month 1, I will expect them to have a lot of approvals of everything, like the system that we teach them, the templates that we give them, the checklist, the SOPs. At the end of month 2 and 3 are more specific project oriented courses. It's more like, do you want them to handle a little bit of team gifting? So we have a video for that, and we have checklists for that. Do you want them to handle naming protocols? It's a big issue for law firm owners. So we have a video for it, and we have templates for it, and we have a system for naming protocols. So do you want them to handle quarterly or annual retreats or team builders? We have a video for that, and we give them examples, and we give them the checklists. So everything, like I said before, everything is implementable. I don't know if that's a word. Right away.
Well, and I also love that peppered in between all of those materials that we give them and the hands-on stuff that you give them, there's some advanced lessons from CEOs. I know I've got a couple of recordings in there with tips and some perspectives. Jordan Ostroff has some great tips and materials of how to be a rock star EA, and helping tie in why does it matter to do things a certain way? Why is this important? So there's definitely a lot of great stuff in that months 2 and 3, more advanced materials to help them keep growing and building. So what what should an owner do if they're feeling like they think this is the right thing, but they're not really sure?
So I would tell them to email me if they
Okay.
want to schedule a call with me. I have a calendar link just for them to talk about all things executive assistant. So they can email me at Marcela. Let me see if I can type it here. Marcela at uplevelingyourbusiness.com. And they will have a calendar link to talk to me about it. I can send them the agenda for it. I can give them more in-depth of the templates that we give them. I would also have them watch this video if they have, like, if they want to learn a little bit more about what is inside Mom 2 and 3. What other thing that I don't know. I think that will cover it. If they email me, that will cover, and I will help them answer all their questions.
Awesome. Well, my sense is that most people know they need it. They just think, well, I don't have the time for it or the budget for it. But I got to tell everyone, this program will pay for itself. It is going to make you so much money because your EA is going to get the support they need, and they're going to be able to start helping you get things done. And from just your calendar and email and the little stuff to helping you with some of those policies and procedures that are so important, just helping you be accountable. They're going to force you to delegate stuff off your plate. And they're also going to be asking, hey, why are you doing this, owner? Can we give it to so-and-so on the team? And they're going to try to find other people that maybe should be doing some of these projects so that owners, you're not doing it all. So listen, your EA is your secret weapon that's there to support you, help you. And that's what I just love about the fact that in just 4 weeks, we can help train them up so that they understand how to take that stronger role with the company and support the owners. So Marcela,
before we go, I just have this example. I had this business owner that before she enrolled her executive assistant, she said, I tracked how many hours I spend on my email in a month. And I spent 40 hours triaging my email in a month. Like, just imagine what you can do with those 40 hours that you
not work as many hours, for one. Number two, like, go get 2 or 3 new clients and get some more money in the door. Like, so many things we could do. That's amazing.
So if that's you, if this resonates with you, just sign up your EA. Yeah.
Awesome, everybody. Well, listen, the next group is coming right up. So get signed up. There are limited spots. We keep it to a small group. We're getting started next week, but if you have somebody starting the following week, we can definitely get them caught up real quick. But if you have any questions, reach out to myself, reach out to Marcela. We are here to support you and help you get your team up and working. Thank you, Marcela, for giving us a peek inside and answering all these great questions. And thank you for being a magician and helping create game-changing EAs for all these different firms.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Take care.